I have to learn how to use a mic, as it seems I kept on starting the presentation without being muted. So the point is, what I want to say. So we have currently not everyone joined, so I would wait a tiny bit. It's okay in a sense because we have this session might take longer than half an hour. It depends from person to person, of course, but also because we need to get you into the loop of how do you use this environment. So every single one of you who are going to have the virtual machine, personalized one, where you can access it and play around with systems Iris data type and integrated ML, which is inside, along with all the data sets and everything. And in this regard, I guess you all should have received the email, which has information about the access code to the virtual machine. So this is something which has as a link access.readytech.com. This is our provider for this session. And by all means, I've always forgot to ask to say in the previous session, but also in this session, you can also, if you have any questions, you can talk and ask it also in German. I'm completely fine with both languages. So I will start and we'll take a look at how does it work. So as I said before, you have received the emails. And I'm gonna explain it first a little bit presentation of how can you access your virtual machine and how can you contact us. So first is this email that I have mentioned. This is how it should look like, and when you click on it, it should show something like this. So you have to press this checkbox to agree on the terms of ReadyTech's terms of service, and then press login. Once you have gotten inside, so this code that is currently here, it's not a valid code. This is code from some previous session, but it's something similar that you have as well. And when you get your desktop loaded, you're going to see a screen something that looks something like this. So at this place, you would need to write this login. So this login details I'm going to keep as my last slide of this session, just for you to keep on having it on the screen for results. So when you log in using this, you're gonna get your desktop prepared by ReadyTech, and sometimes, depends on a case, you might have a question or pop-up being saying to you that you need to resize, so it needs to resize the applications in a virtual desktop, and for this purpose you click yes. It will not happen too much. Maybe it might pop up one more time or something, but it will happen. And then once you come into the virtual machine itself, it looks something like this. So this here is your icon where you're going to access to the exercise. But just don't press it just yet, because I want to go through the whole environment. And then there is this little toolbar on top, from which I find very useful for my own sake as well, this clipboard part, where you can click on it and exchange the clipboard information between this virtual environment inside in your own computer. This helps a lot when you want to do this Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V and be a bit faster with working through the exercise. Then there's this icon here, which you can use to contact the instructors. When you run it for the first time, it will ask you if you want to trust this application or not. This is just a typical Ubuntu feature, and you just need to press there, trust and launch. And what it shows afterwards is, when it's launched properly, is the private chat. Currently, I'm here because I'm the leader of this group, but we have also, as I mentioned, two more instructors, my dear colleagues Stefan Mohr and Michel Gram, who are going to help out throughout the session. And if you want to contact all of us, you can just go to the, where's my mouse? Go to this green plus sign on the bottom. And there you can add more people in the students. Okay. And additional to this, if you don't really have exact question, but something is not working, you can also request instructors help directly there. And then we're going to be notified directly from our side. Then what I had personally issue with this environment is once you start something, how you switch the screens, how you switch the windows. And this you press on this activities part, and when you go to the complete right side with the mouse, you're gonna see this task bar, so to say, or this bar on the side, which shows you all the open windows. So, for example, in my case, there was a Firefox, there was a private chat. This is this chat that we have, and this last one is the return to desktop. This is a very valuable thing to know, because now when you press on this return to desktop, then you would be able to come back to the original desktop. And so now when you press on this icon again, you're gonna be able to access to the exercise itself. And then what it will gonna ask you here is the access to the Iris data platform, and there we have this login password, same with every possible this prototypical example of the Iris, where it's a super user and sys. Sys is all capital letters. And then you will come up to the base page like this. And this page here, it's a written text, and you can go through the text, and it will guide you through all the features of integrated ML. So because I can imagine that these virtual machines might not be accessible maybe for all of you, or maybe you have some issues even running directly the virtual desktop, you can contact us also via this chat here on the GoToWebinar, and we can then take a look at it and answer you directly there. So, and aside from this one that we have within this, which I mentioned before, this private chat. And so this is my last screen. So I just want to keep this part always on, so that you guys always know that this is the information that we have about the passwords. And I would like to just switch to take a look at if there is any questions here already. Yeah, so I'm already presenting it again, so just for you to have it. So this is IML, so integrated ML -admin, and the password is integrated ML, all small caps. And for the Iris itself, username and password is super user and sys. I'm now turning on also my own virtual desktop to also be part of the fun. So I have Oliver. I have no clue actually. I will just try to talk like this. What seems to be the problem is that we can maybe turn on the microphone on the GoToWebinar. Maybe that would be also easy. I don't know if it's feasible to be done like this. Hello. Okay, yeah, okay. I muted myself for whatever reason. Yeah, so just give me a second. So, Oliver, you should be able to talk now.
Yep.
So the regular problem is with this switching to the to Ubuntu itself is the fact that it doesn't recognize command as the control key, and he requires real command control. So, but okay, so I had figured out it was. I'm still don't understand why this mic button is keep on being muted. So if you do you have any other questions?
Data mining is not found, but I can put it in the chat.
Ah, okay. Wait a moment. I will take a look at your screen to understand. Yes. So you made a mistake here. It's because this select star from C is a part which so the SQL query itself is wrong. So if you take out this, is it? Was I think copied badly. So that one, if you copy, yes, now it should be. It looks better. Yes.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
No problem. Warum dauert die folgende Frage? Also, das ist noch eine Frage, die ich würde gerade antworten. Der Grund dafür ist eigentlich, dass du benutzt eine so ein bisschen komplizierte Algorithmen oder Formular direkt für jede einzelne Zeile innerhalb von der Tabelle. Und hier ist es 150 Mal so. Und das, ja, das sollte normalerweise schneller sein, weil auch, das kann ich jetzt als zweite Grund auch mir vorstellen, dass die Rechner für diese Virtualmaschine ist nicht so groß. Und ja, so, ja, wir wissen das, aber normalerweise, wenn Sie eine neue Vorhersage machen, das machen Sie immer auf dem eine Zeile oder zwei Zeilen oder 10 Zeilen, aber nicht auf dem ganzen Tabelle. Aber ja, es dauert ein bisschen. Oh, irgendwie habe ich das falsch beantwortet. Ja, das ist nur eine Zeile. Dann habe ich keine. Es sollte schnell sein. So I'm noticing that many of you went pretty far ahead. I guess we will not need more than half an hour, as I feared that will not be enough. I have a question for those who maybe have entered a bit later. Did you manage to get into the virtual machine already? And if not, please let me know if you have any issues in this regard. You can also write it in the GoToWebinar chat if that is the case. So you should be that it should be that you have received the virtual machine a link via your email. And this should lead you to the virtual machine itself. Oliver, I see that you need. Do you need any help? I can unmute you. Or did it got resolved?
It worked everything perfect. Thanks a lot.
Oh, no problem. Thank you, Oliver. I hope I'm glad that you like it. And, yes, hope it will gonna be actively used among our partners. I'm very excited myself over the whole future that we have made. In case you want to work more, the machines are all available all the way until 6 o'clock. So it should not be stopping you from continuing to look at examples or playing around. So So unfortunately, in the case which you are looking at now, there is that I think you haven't run the set ML configuration to the AutoML, the built-in version of the ML provider that we have, because this highlighting has been made only for this AutoML option. The one that you see right now, and I can also explain you this one, is the one that comes from H2O, where you can also see at the bottom this leaderboard, which is very interesting by itself. So each provider, each AutoML provider by itself shows the different ways how he does his training sessions. And for example, in this case, we don't see too much about how it's being done compared to, for example, our built-in version. But at the end, for example, here you can see the leaderboard and why he chose the best one that he chose. And also with this area and the curve, I would say, where you can see that it's 80.4. And this is probably the reason why he chose the model. But this is a typical H2O version of the model. So he runs a couple of models that he chooses, and afterwards he chooses this stack ensemble. When you take a look at this, this is the combinations of multiple models together, because sometimes the hybrid, so the work of multiple machine learning models might produce even better results. So that he always tries to do all of them together, and that's what H2O does in this case. But if you try to run this set ML configuration to AutoML, that is being used exactly to show this built-in version of the from IntegratedML, where we have a bit more information. So you need to also then redo this, yes. So I have to drop the model first, yes. So yes, so this is this. It is just my own specific coding that I wrote here, so that's why it only works for this particular case. So you can see at the beginning this first level where you can see exactly which input data he took and then how he did his own feature engineering. That's for me, it's very interesting to look at based on the type of the data he chooses, what kind of category he uses, what kind of additional information he can get, and based on this, he's then deciding of which features should be important for the machine learning model. And then when he's done with that, then when you go further down, then we're going to be the different models that he will going to start training. So first one, it was the quickest one, this logistic regression, and then he does a random forest classifier, and that takes a while. And it goes all the way down to the, yeah, that's a, so as I said, it's much more information written here. And then there is this, this is classified, this is the actual neural network that it's being inside. Actually, one that is being special designed that most likely always run for this kind of cases. Hey, I got myself. Oh. Okay, and exactly, it takes a while. You can notice by these iterations that with every iteration, this value of the loss goes smaller and smaller. And then again, you can see the for this value exactly that goes smaller and smaller, and then a certain threshold when he says, okay, this is now the best one. And then he chooses from these models the best one was in this case logistic regression, and then he returns this model in form of JSON. And this is then being stored as is like this. So there's this iris data types and a column which is survived. So for me, that is very interesting to see just this process itself. Yeah, I like it as well. No problem. Bye. Thank you for being here and trying it out. So have a nice rest of the week. So how the others are doing. So I hope everyone had a fun trying out and had a nice overview of the integrated ML by itself. Basti, you don't need to close the screen, it will run out by itself, so you can just close the tab where you had this virtual machine which you had. And in general, I hope you had all you have a good overview of how it's been, how integrated ML is working and how it is with the concept itself of the integrated ML. And yeah, I would like to, in this sense, then probably stop with GoToWebinar. But you can still run your machines until 6 o'clock and try it out yourself. But with this being said, at least the instructor-wise, I will not be present from this point on. So, but you can still play with the machine that you have got. Thank you very much for your time being used. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything further in regard to capabilities of integrated ML, you can always email me at Aleksandar Kovačević at intersystems.com. And have a nice evening, so schönen Feiertag, and goodbye.